tuned in to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm your co-host, Moshe Kasher.
And I'm the star, Natasha Leggera.
And my wife.
Moshe and I, we want to do a podcast where we help people with their relationships because we have a Netflix special where...
You should just stop there because we have a Netflix special.
Well, no, I'm just saying we did it on our Netflix special and it's so fun.
And we're in a relationship, Natasha and I.
We've been married for about 3 years.
Yeah, we've been together for about 7. I got that itch.
Yeah. Wait, it's been 7 years?
We've been together 7 years.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have.
No, we haven't.
I mean, I've been with you 7 years.
Really?
Well, when do you think we got together?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it's been 7 years. And we have a child, and we're living in marital bliss and touring stand-up comedians and having the time of our lives. And we went on this long tour, the honeymoon stand-up tour, which led to a Netflix special, which led to this podcast that you're listening to right now.
Yeah. And the reason why we call it the Endless Honeymoon, though, is because we learned about this very rich couple who went on their honeymoon and came back 10 years later with 4 children.
And you wanted to recreate that kind of magic
in our lives. Okay, so before we get started taking calls, what I thought would be fun is to have a fight of the week. And maybe people could weigh in who's right and who's wrong.
Okay, great.
You have anything you want to say about me?
We were fighting. We weren't really fighting about it, but we couldn't figure out what to call the baby's shit.
You keep saying to call it shit.
Well, no, I don't care what we call it. I don't want to call it poop. I think like something bad happened to humanity when adults started being like okay with saying poop. Like your brother was.
I think Chelsea Peretti has a joke about that, honey.
Oh, really? Like your brother came over the other day, and he was like supposed to be doing some work for us around the house. He disappeared for like 45 minutes, and we're like, Brian, where'd you go? And then finally, like he appeared like 45 minutes later. And we're like, dude, where were you? And he's like, we're like, what do you mean? Where were you? He was like, got all mad. He goes, I had to poo, okay?
No, he said I had to poop.
I had to poop, okay? And he was like angry. He was like activated. And I just thought that was so funny for an angry adult male to be like, I had to poop, okay? So something bad happened.
Okay, well, I know. And when I was little, we said BM, which I think is fucking gross.
Right.
So what
bowel
I try
movement.
to do with the
what
baby...
What did happen to bowel movement? People don't say bowel movement anymore.
Well, what I say is...
What do you think happened, though? Did the movement end?
Yeah, maybe it was just kind of 80s or something.
It was like 80s. It was like new wave music.
Like people definitely didn't say poo in the 80s. Like
right.
that started to rear its head in like 2000s and everyone thought it was so funny to put it in a script for someone to be like, I have to poo. Which is like so fucking disgusting.
I know. And then like it was like cupcakes and poo kind of came up around the same time.
But what I like to say when the baby goes to the bathroom is I, in a like kind of an undefined accent, say, oh, you have to poo poo?
Oh, you do it like that. So you're not in the poo, but you're in the poo poo.
With an accent.
But do you ever do like a racist accent?
No, I always say, oh, you have to poo poo?
So it's French.
Yeah, it's on the...
Vaguely French.
Yeah.
Let's do different accents of saying poo poo. What do you think?
Oh, you mean right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Call one out.
Irish.
Did you have to poo poo?
Chinese.
Oh, you do Chinese.
No,
I'm good.
Do Chinese.
I'm gonna pass on doing Chinese. Do another white accent. We'll do
Okay,
all white accents.
All right, Australian. Or I'll do it.
You do it.
You ate the poo poo.
What?
Yeah.
That's Australian?
You ate the poo poo.
That's not Australian.
You have the poo poo.
That's not Australian.
I don't know.
That's like the East End or something, like My Fair Lady.
You have to poo poo.
Wait, how do Australians talk? They go like, "You're all right, mate." No, that's British.
Australians like to
there you go.
drink flavoured milk
and
go poo poo.
There you go. That's better. Way better.
Do you have to poo poo?
All right.
Okay.
Give me a white poo.
Dutch.
Ooh, that's kind
of... Or how about German?
Did you have to poo poo? Oh, nothing makes me hornier than when I see a big load of poo poo on my chest. Oh, I am very into scatological play, but I don't say Scheiße because it's a little bit too adult of a term. I like poo poo. It makes it feel a little bit more innocent. Even though my people are stained with a original sin of what we did in the Second World War. Do you have to poo poo?
That was great.
That was kind of cool is that at certain moments I lost the accent and it became the Chinese accent that I wouldn't do earlier.
Okay, how
Okay,
about
your turn. How about you're Italian? How about an Italian?
do you have to poo-poo?
That's pretty good. Do more.
Oh, bambino, do you have to poo-poo?
That's okay. Dai, bambino. Oh, welcome to Roma.
Welcome to Roma.
Oh, welcome to Roma.
Do you know where I can get a
Tonight,
fettuccine?
tonight we have a special. It's a fettuccine. What? A fettuccine. What? A fettuccine. Ah, it's a fettuccine in a light poo-poo sauce. Give me a country.
A country, America. There's regional accents
Okay,
in America.
okay. Give me.
Okay, can you do like a...
Excuse me.
Can you
Pardon me. I got a slice of pizza right here. I got a slice of za. I got a brand new Cadillac. I ate the pizza. I got into the Cadillac. I'm driving up to West Nyack. And you know what? I got to pull over because guess what? Daddy's got a poo-poo. Can you do Russian?
Yes.
This is terrifying. Do you? No.
Russian accent is more for this just feels a little more Russian. Do you have to poo-poo?
I would say it would go like this, like, do you have to poo-poo?
Do you have to poo-poo?
My name's Boris. I come from Russia.
And
And in Russia, we have something called the vodka poo-poos. You drink too much vodka, and then
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Adding an S at the end, already I hate it. I don't want. It's not called the poo-poos.
you don't like. But in Russia, poo-poos you. That's a joke that I feel it wasn't funny. I'll give you, but you also didn't get. Okay, what else we got? Russia.
I think we're good.
We want to move on? Hey, this is called a bit. Okay, let's take a few calls. Natasha and I consider ourselves essentially relationship experts. We've traveled around the country giving relationship advice to hundreds and hundreds of couples.
And we've been married for anywhere between 5 and 7 years.
Yeah, we've been married for an indeterminate amount of time. We're uniquely qualified to give you advice on your relationship problems, or if you're not in a relationship, why you aren't in a relationship and what your fucking problem is. We got a few calls lined up, and we're going to try to solve some very serious issues.
First up, we're calling Mitchell from Koreatown. That's in Los Angeles.
This is kind of a jam. Yo, we're about to call Mitchell on the phone.
Hello?
Hello?
Mitchell?
Yes, that's me.
Mitchell, hi, it's Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero
Hi,
calling.
Mitchell.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, we're doing good.
We're doing real good.
We heard that you have an issue. We know that you live in Koreatown in Los Angeles and you are afraid your girlfriend...
Wait, hold on. Don't say it. Mitchell, tell us your issue, because when I heard what it was, I was like, we got to call that dude Stat, because he might not be around much longer.
My girlfriend's been getting into, I guess, paganism. She's like bought this shelf and has, I guess, an altar. She's got tarot cards and candles, and I just don't know much about it, so it kind of makes me nervous.
So you're afraid your girlfriend's turning into a witch.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And Mitchell, are you religious?
Obviously
not,
not.
no.
He's scared of an altar.
I'm
He's
so-
like, she bought a shelf.
Well, if you were
I have an altar.
if you were Christian, then it would be a real issue.
Oh, I see. Do you know what the crux, like what's her core, like is there any, do you see like an Aleister Crowley book? Like what's the main thing? Is she chanting? Is there
a cauldron around? Oh, have any of your pets gone missing?
I guess,
Actually, can you go there right now? Is she home?
no, she's not.
So go to her altar and can you just tell me some of the stuff that's on there and if there's any books?
Wait, but
Yeah,
Mitchell,
definitely.
Mitchell, be really careful, because if you open the books, there's a strong possibility that one of the pages will inhabit your soul and that you'll actually turn into a toad.
There's some crystals. There's a tarot deck.
Don't touch
some
that.
of the cards are out. There's an open book.
What's the
shit.
book?
What's the book?
Magical Almanac.
Oh, God. Mitchell, run.
Practical
Run,
magic
Mitchell.
For everyday
So
living.
she's trying to cast spells.
I know that there are spells, and she's done one.
Oh, really? What
But
spell
not-
has she done?
I don't know. She didn't tell me.
What do you mean? You didn't ask?
I like to give her that space, you know?
Wait. Your girlfriend was like, yeah, I cast a spell today, and you weren't like, what was the spell? What if it was the
Mitchell's a sweet guy. He's trying to be open.
what if it was the shrivel up my boyfriend's dick spell?
Oh.
I just introduced some fear into your heart.
Wait, Mitchell, I have a question. Is there anything desperate about her? Like, is she really trying to manifest things in her life?
I don't think so. I feel like that would have come up in the last 2.5 years.
If she's trying to create something with witchcraft, it might be more positive for her to do it through like other things. Like
Mitchell, okay. What are you afraid of? Like what freaks you out about this?
I guess that it'll turn into something more like, I don't know.
Should cut your dick off?
I don't know what it's all entailed, you know? I'm afraid I'll come home and there'll be like a lot of naked witches floating in my apartment or something, or a sacrifice going on, or, you know, maybe my dick will shrivel up because she's done a dick shrivel up spell.
I know, and that honestly...
Now that's in the back of my mind.
Well, it should be on the front of your mind because it's an incredibly common spell, and they do it all the time. And I got to tell you, it's a real fear. It's a real concern. I had it happen to me once in 92, and that's how I got down to 9.5 inches.
I mean, my friend took me to the store where you buy crystals. It was like being at Costco on a Saturday. Every single person was lined up. There was like 5 deep lines. Like everyone's like, I'll take a rose quartz. Like people, my friend's like, you can stuff these in your bra. I mean, that's like how desperate everybody feels because of Trump. We've all been told the world is ending in 20 years. Right. Our president is like beyond what our worst imaginations ever. No one can even believe that it's happened. Everyone's so desperate and lost that they're turning to astrology and mythological things. And
that is an interesting idea that like people are feeling kind of hopeless right now. What gives you more hope than like magic? Like that the world actually has like a secret magical fabric underlying the what seems like reality. I was at a dinner party literally on Friday, and an old friend of mine was telling me how she was getting into like witchy stuff and astrology. And she explained to me, my old friend, that there's like a new movement, especially in LA, of like witchy, woo-woo astrology. People are really getting into it. And like, here's the thing for you to remember, Mitchell. This is a spiritual fad. Like, and so what that means to me is like, your girlfriend isn't getting into like ritual sacrifice and like the dark arts. Your girlfriend is like a spiritual seeker, and this is like a popular form of spiritualism right now. I'll be honest, I don't believe in witchcraft. I don't believe in spiritualism
it's fun.
Or astrology, but I do believe that spiritual seeking is like a positive. And I think like it sounds like your girlfriend is just like seeking out what it's like if she was into yoga 10 years ago. That's I don't think this is any more serious than that. Well, like what would freak you out more, Mitchell? If you came home and you found the magical almanac, or if you found like a heavily annotated New Testament?
That is such a good question. like when New Testament with all Jesus is writing, everything Jesus said is in red.
Oh, it's highlighted.
No, that's like the King James version is all Jesus's words are in red, which by the way is a beautiful version of the Bible.
So what do you got, Mitchell? Which thing would freak you out more?
Oh, the second one.
The Bible.
Yeah.
Because it's got all kinds of like societal like weird baggage that comes along with it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. I think it's a much more mellow thing. I think it allows her to like get into her spiritual side and helps her be who she is.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's a great way. That's a very loving way to look at it. It's like an outlet for her, and it might be how she's creative even. So it's like, you know, as long as you're like keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, right. If the pets go missing, then call us back. But in the meantime, I would suggest go to a bookstore, buy her a book, a witchy book to show her that you're like supportive. And the good news is, if she gets really into witchcraft, I almost guarantee the sex is about to get crazy, dog.
Ooh.
She's gonna unshrivel that dick.
I'll get her a book.
Yeah, okay, get her a book. You don't want crazy sex.
All right, thanks, Mitchell. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Mitchell,
right.
Good luck. Good luck out there. And may the winds of the goddess Orion be ever in your favor.
All right. Thanks.
That guy was so cute.
He was sweet. I mean, I do think, honestly, like, my takeaway from that is, like, that witchcraft and paganism and all that stuff has this really, like, dark, negative connotation from, like, literally the Middle Ages, and it's just not really like that anymore. Even though I don't necessarily believe in it, like, I just see, like, his girlfriend is just essentially doing yoga.
in my opinion, Moshe might disagree with this, but there are people who are just a little more intuitive and able to access this sort of intuition and
Oh, well, you think there are people that are actually able to tune into magic?
being psychic, possibly. Sometimes it's nice to like make connections with things.
Yeah. All right. And now it's time to spin the wheel
Of
truth. First question.
have you ever written a song, poem, or something earnest for the other?
For each other?
Yeah,
No.
I have.
You've written me a poem?
I've written you. I remember when I was taking piano lessons and we just started dating and the dogs were barking. I would like make up a little song and send it to you.
What? Oh, yeah. I kind of do remember that.
Thank you.
Yeah, she would on like a voicemail, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty nice, you know? I've never written you a poem.
You did have me read something really deep that you wrote, though.
I was showing off how good of a writer I am.
Yes.
No, but I've done a lot of things in earnest for you. But now also, I wanted to know, have you ever written a poem for a lover, though, in general?
Anything I do that is in the realm of poetry, music, or art could be also qualified as outsider art.
Okay.
So I'm just saying it's very like lo-fi.
Outsider art?
Yeah, like it's just it would be like a very simple song.
Can you give us an example?
No. It's the opposite of like high art. It's like, it's like what handicapped people do.
What?
Or handicapped children. Can you cut
What
this
are
out?
you No, keep this in. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about outsider art is usually like people with disabilities do art that's like really
it's
beautiful.
not. That's not what outsider art is. It's not when people with developmental disabilities finger paint and hand it to a lover. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's
what you're saying you do?
Yes.
You must have made a lot of lovers very confused. Like, she seemed really smart.
No, it's like
But what is this Thanksgiving turkey hand?
It's like expressionism, It's like
Okay.
abstract. It's like it's your artistic creation, but you're not like
Dear Thomas, I like you very much.
Stop.
Roses are red. So are other things.
Google outsider art. I don't know.
I know what outsider
it's like
art
what
is.
people in mental institutions, like for example, I went
And
to
you made it? What are you talking
because it's
about?
the people who are good at it.
Okay.
Like when I went to San Quentin, there was like a whole art program there, and some of it looks so dark, and it just looks like this expressionistic, like insanity, but there's something really beautiful about it, and that it's not like they're not trained in the traditional ways.
Well, I will say that I'm not really a poet, nor do I do outsider poetry or anything like that. But when I was a young man, and I was a young teen, and I was a white person, I still am. But at the time, I thought I was a black person. This is so funny to me. I got set up on a romantic connection with a girl I was in Oakland, and I thought I was black. There was a girl in San Francisco, white girl, who thought she was Mexican. And they were like, you guys would be perfect for each other. And we had a romance that was only over the phone. We never met. And
I remember those.
And she and I, the only way we communicated was on the phone, or we would dedicate oldies to each other on the local oldie station.
That feels pretty outsider art.
Yeah, right. And pretty developmentally disabled as well. All right.
Wait, do you remember what song you dedicated to her?
It was probably like, baby, let's cruise away from here.
Wow.
This one's
really
going
sad.
out to Sicily, out in San Francisco's Mission District, from Moshe in Oakland. He wants to tell you, yo, I'm feeling you tonight. Missing your presence, dog. Now let's let Smokey Robinson take us away. Should we do another one? I like this segment.
How many people did you sleep with before your current partner?
Great question.
I actually could definitely count, but I did count before, and it's either 11 or 17.
Are you kidding?
No.
You slut! I always think like men and women like have the opposite impulse with the amount of sexual partners. Obviously, this isn't true for every man or every woman, but like I feel like in general, women want to be able to count the amount of partners they've had on two hands. Like that's their like goal. Oh, I want to be able to do it on two hands. And men want to not be able to remember how many it was.
Right.
And I'm glad to tell you guys, I have absolutely no idea.
Do you think it's more than 70?
Yeah.
More than 70?
Yeah.
Wait, that's a lot.
I know.
Have you been tested for STDs?
No, not in the last 7 years.
Wait, do you think it's more than 150?
Yeah.
More, do you think it's more than 400?
I think it's probably about 400. Wait,
that's so funny because
hold
I
on.
was so embarrassed to say 17.
Honey,
because I think it was 11.
I just want you to know, though, that all of that sex was something that I consider outsider sex. And it's kind of like when disabled people have sex or people in prison have sex. Like, it's not classically trained.
Okay. So you think somewhere around 400.
Somewhere around that.
Wow. That's disgusting.
Why?
Because it just seems like you would have a disease.
But, I mean, I don't. I mean, I think I don't.
Also, you're not that old. Like, how? It's not like you're like Snoop Dogg going from like land
It's
to
not?
land.
What do you mean Snoop Dogg going from land to land?
I'm just thinking of like someone who's like
you think Snoop Dogg's a Bedouin?
I just think like when you're on tour as a musician.
Or a comedian?
Oh, I see. So every time you had a show, you would have sex with a different girl from the audience?
I became sexually active and very sexually active when I was 16.
Me too.
That's when
and I had 1-2 year relationship after the other, which
never in
takes me
relationships.
to 11 years.
But I was never in
partners.
relationships. When I was 16, I started going to raves, and there was like all kinds of free love. So it was like everybody was sleeping with everybody. Then I spent, I was there until I was like 22 or whatever. And then I got into comedy, and that's also like traveling around the. Oh, also there was the internet. The internet came about. Like, I always think you can kind of digitally timestamp yourself based on the internet. Like, I started hooking up with people at like Yahoo Personals. I moved into Craigslist. Then I transferred over to OkCupid, but I never made it to Tinder.
Ooh, you're lucky.
I think I am lucky because I do think I would have a disease if I had ever indulged.
Because you would have been
Tinder.
having sex with like 2 girls a day.
I'm telling you, I had that many partners during the time that Tinder didn't exist.
Right.
And Tinder just seems like insane.
How would you meet a girl? Because you
On
don't even drink.
OkCupid or what? Or
Well, would you like go to clubs or something to meet these girls?
yeah, I was in the club.
No, before the internet.
I was in the club nightly.
Oh, really?
No, like how would I meet girls?
Yeah.
Many different ways. Like,
Because you don't drink and there was no internet. So, like, how are you meeting
before
them?
the internet was really popular for dating, I was in the rave scene, and you would just go to raves, and everybody was hooking up with everybody. And then the internet came around when I stopped going to raves, and then I would meet girls at comedy shows or meet people on the internet, or sometimes I would just go down to like drive around like kind of sketchy neighborhoods, and I would like flash money out the window or whatever.
I remember you
That's
told
a joke.
me. Oh, okay.
That's not true.
Well, this isn't a joke. I remember you told me that when you were driving home from your set at the Comedy Store, if you texted enough people.
No, hold on. You got to tell the story right.
Okay, you tell it.
If I bombed at the Comedy Store, I would.
Which is on Sunset, kind of the west side.
Right. I live on the east side of Los Angeles, so it's about a 25-minute drive from the Comedy Store to my house, and this is when I was single. If I did well, who knows what I would do. But if I bombed, I would immediately start texting girls that I had like booty call situations with on my drive home, because like the psychology was like so transparent. It was like I felt weak. I wanted to like, feel good or whatever. I would be texting these girls all the way down Sunset, and if I hit Western and no one had texted me back, I would pull over at the Dunkin' Donuts on Western and Sunset and get a buttermilk donut.
That is so sweet and sad and pathetic.
I'm glad I'm married. This is way better. Although that was fun too. Should we spin again?
Let's do one more.
All right, we'll do one more. One more.
Have you ever faked it with your current partner?
Have you ever faked it?
I gotta say, I just always went into, I usually go in, I'm sure I have before in my past, but with you or someone I'm in love with, I don't really do that.
You don't really?
I don't.
You never have.
I never have. It feels like in my head, if I do that, that would be a slippery slope, and then you would always do it. You always want to, when you have an orgasm, you don't want to ever fake that, because then it's like, what happens the next time? Then you do it, and then you're always having fake orgasms. I don't know. Seems like a very slippery slope.
We'll say a weird statistic about me. Remember I told you I was with approximately 300 to 400 people? What's really interesting about me is no one of them ever faked it with me. No, I can tell.
Wait, a man can't fake it, right?
No, I faked it with you a bunch of times.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. Sometimes, like, I'll just take some lotion and just kind of splurt it and be like, that was great, honey.
You're lying.
No, of course no, but I have faked it with somebody once.
How'd you do that?
I was just with this girl and I was like, not.
It's so much easier for a woman to fake it.
I know. I was just not feeling it and I was wearing protection and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm done. I didn't make noise, but I was just like, oh, I came.
What was so bad about
There's
her?
just, I don't remember exactly, but there was something awkward happening and I was just like, oh, yeah, oh, mama. Well, I'm all done there. But with you, honey, it's been real every time.
Thank you.
So I had an idea that we would set up our relationship helpline to also be a secrets hotline. I'm curious about people. I feel like everybody's got a secret that they've never told anyone, and everybody wants to get it off their chest. So we would set up our hotline, and we would see if anybody out there had some secrets that they wanted us to play. So we're just going to play a few of them, and we're going to comment on them, and I'm really excited about this. But before we do, let's each tell our deepest, darkest secret that we've never told anyone. I'm just kidding. Let's roll the clip.
So my boyfriend of 5 years won't give me my ring yet. So I ordered a $20 ring off Amazon, and I wear it every single chance I can. Like, he has no idea. Nobody has it.
What?
I got myself my own engagement ring that I wear whenever I'm alone and whenever I can. Okay, bye.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. She wears it when she's not with him?
She's not engaged. He's not proposed. She bought herself a fake engagement ring to walk around and be like, do you like it? To her coworkers and stuff.
Wait, did she say to her coworkers she just broke out for a
I
second?
think it was like, it couldn't be her coworkers. Then they'll be like, oh my God, he proposed.
It seemed like it was for herself.
It's for herself to walk around the big city and just be like, look at Lou. That's a good one. I love that.
I mean, it's cute. I mean, it seems a little troubling for her relationship, though, because it's like, first of all, you're putting so much on the man. Like, does he know that?
No, he doesn't know. That's the beauty of a secret like that, is it's just for her.
Does he know that she obviously wants to get married?
And he hasn't done it yet.
And if he's not going to marry her, that's a girl who wants to get married no matter what.
That is wild. What is it that she gets out of feeling like people think she's engaged in the world? Like, people are looking at her and going, now there's an engaged young lady. I mean, I don't want... I think that's funny. There's a part of it that's like, damn, pick yourself up, girl. You don't need that. But there's a part of me that really likes it because it's like, it's a secret with yourself. It's like a game you're playing with yourself.
I mean, I'm sure if we were to talk to her, she probably like, her friends are all married or her sisters are all married or she's feeling like a little left out or something.
I think it's cute and disturbing. It's a little of both. Let's play another one.
I mean, it's not really that bad of a secret, but I convinced my parents that I really liked horror movies as a kid, so I could watch on demand late at night. But I really just did it because horror movies had a lot of titties in them, and it was really hard to find things to be my meat to until I found out what the internet was. Sorry, Mom, I don't really like horror movies that much.
But I like titties and beating my meat. Where did that guy walk out of 1991?
Wait, what did he say that he wanted to beat his meat?
Yeah,
That's what
he needed
said?
to beat his meat, and he told his parents that he loved horror movies, so could he please watch Cinemax late at night? And then they would go to bed, and he would put them on. He doesn't like horror movies, but they have a lot of tits in them, so he would beat his meat to the horror tits.
Wow.
It's hard out there, especially pre-internet. It was difficult.
What did you do?
To beat my meat? If I needed to beat my meat? When it was beat my meat time? I did a lot of things. I did phone sex, as you know. I spent all of my bar mitzvah money on phone sex. You know that, right? Sometimes there used to be this magazine called The Spectator that was like pretty much all for sex workers in the Bay Area. And sometimes you could like clandestinely put 4 quarters in and grab one of those and then like beat your meat to like a sex worker ad. Or sometimes you'd find pornography on the road, like roadkill. You know, it'd be like run over and be like, ooh, score. But primarily you would just, you know what I used to? When When I was real young, I would look at Delia's catalogs. You remember Delia's? I would look at the lingerie section of Delia's.
Well, that's what's interesting about being a woman. Like,
You don't have to beat your meat, right?
but I would get horny, and men didn't seem attractive to me because it was like, what am I going to look at? Like hairy men?
So what would you beat your meat to?
I would like look at boobs.
You would look at Cinemax titties on a horror movie
No, like Victoria's Secret calendars.
and beat your meat?
Like rub up against things.
What kind of things?
Anything.
Like what sort of things?
Well, I remember in school I would like kind of rub up against the chair.
Okay.
But that was different than I wasn't looking at a catalog then.
So when you would masturbate, you would think about women?
I would just like look at boobs and stuff.
Interesting.
Well, there was nowhere to look at men really.
I guess not. I
'Cause
don't know.
The catalogs that would come were women, and the women's bodies just looked better.
And when you beat your meat now, what are you thinking about?
I don't really beat my meat that much
Oh, okay.
because I have a husband and I
With
him
with good meat.
with good meat.
Uh-huh. That's interesting. So when you fantasize about women's bodies.
Well, no, because then when I was little, sometimes it would be like, oh, a male teacher. Like if there was a male in my view.
You would fantasize about a person, but never.
Yeah, but like in terms of just finding, images.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean.
When I beat my meat these days, I think about the callers and the problems they're having in the dating world. Let's hear another secret.
My biggest secret that I've never told anyone is that I have faked every single orgasm from a sexual encounter with a man, including most recently my boyfriend of 5 years. What? Because it's just easier than coming to terms with potentially being queer and dealing with that. So yeah,
Kinda
that's
twist
my
at the
biggest
end.
secret that I've never told anyone.
That was a big twist at the end.
Because she's like clearly gay.
It's so funny too because it's like the beginning of the call, I was like, oh no. And then the end of the call, I was like, oh, there's a door. And it's like an obvious door. It's just like, open the fucking door and walk through.
But she's in a 5-year relationship with a man.
Well, that's a problem, but there's such an obvious solution. It's just like there are so many orgasms awaiting you on the other side of Lesbian Mountain. It's just like open the door, walk through, and simultaneously beat your meat with a woman. I wish I could reach out over the phone, and I don't know why she would want me to be there. I wish you could reach out over the phone and just like take her hand and make her be herself.
Well, I will say that I'm into white lies, as you know.
That's not a white lie.
No, I know, but I think faking an orgasm would be considered a white lie.
No, not for 5 years because I'm
No,
gay.
I hear you.
That's a black lie. Or I don't
Totally.
know what lie.
But what I'm trying to say is that I think that, even for someone who does sort of tell white lies, sometimes I'm sure I've faked them before, but, a long time ago, I was like, oh, I'm not going to fake those. Because I feel like it's like bad luck for your relationship.
Well,
It's a slippery slope.
that's
Then
interesting.
when do you ever know when you should really have them? So if you don't have one, the partner should know. Because also maybe he's not doing the thing that you need.
yeah, it's the thing that he's not doing that she needs is being a woman.
Right.
I mean, that guy can't do anything. That guy, there's no hope for that guy. I mean, there is hope for that girl though, because she's queer. I mean,
She even said it.
She said it. And, if you're listening right now, your partner, and listen, what do I know? I'm not queer. I don't know what that's like. I don't know how difficult it is to come to terms with that or to admit that.
Or what your relationship with your parents are.
have
Sometimes
no
it's
idea.
too hard for people.
Easy for me to say. I will say that proudly. But your boyfriend doesn't want to be with someone that is not sexually attracted to him. So you're doing him no favors by sticking around. Maybe you're doing yourself a psychological favor. I don't know. But from a straight white man, my invitation to you is make a immigration to Queeroslavia. Get out there.
And also, faking an orgasm every time you have sex, that seems so exhausting.
Yeah, when you could just be having sex with people you want to have sex with, and they could make you come like crazy. Listen, go date a woman, fuck her, have an orgasm, call us back, and tell us on the Secrets Hotline you did it, because we are rooting for you.
Yeah, do it.
Just do it. He'll be fine.
Okay, can we take another one?
What do we got? Last secret of the episode.
Hi, Moshe and Natasha. I love you guys.
We love you.
And I am drunk, and I'm willing to share my secret that nobody in the world knows. So, I am a 30-something-year-old woman. I was convinced by my first cousin that he loved me and was in love with me, and therefore I fucked him and got pregnant with him and got an abortion. I am also a full Catholic, which makes everything so much worse. And by the way, I'm married, so I technically cheated on my husband. But
What?
no one knows. It's my secret, and I hope you make fun of it so it can make me feel better. I love you guys. Bye.
You know the old Catholic saying, laughter is the best medicine for an incest, abortion, non-monogamy, cheating on your husband Sunday. That was like a fucking 1,000-layer cake, dude.
So she was. So it sounds like her cousin wooed her. She's like, I was convinced by my cousin that he was in love with me.
You know, I have known you a long time. In fact, my father is your uncle.
First cousin?
First cousin. I mean, I get it. There's something like taboo and hot about cousins.
That would be really hard to walk around with that secret.
Well, she's not walking around with it anymore.
So she then probably avoids family functions.
Oh, because she might see that dude?
Yeah. And is he still, just because, if he was like telling, he didn't just fuck her when they were drunk. He convinced her that they were in love.
I wonder if he did
which
love
makes
her.
me think that he's probably still on her, you know?
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if he really did love her.
I also wonder if she told him that she got an abortion, which, by the way, she laughed at when she said.
What a good Catholic woman she is. I did get an abortion. I mean, good God. Are you listening, Alabama? There's a reason that fucking choice is important. You think that woman should have born that child? That fucking two-tailed, like fucking three-eyed, just like Catholic abomination through the world, just like as her mother's guilty, her father has run out on her, and the husband like resents that child for the rest of its life. You go, oh, that'd be a lovely Catholic upbringing. Jesus Christ, that was deep, man. I love that.
I like that. I felt like she really enjoyed telling it to us.
Well, you know, everybody's
And
done.
you're right. Now she like someone knows. That's not something you can even tell. If you tell a friend, your friend's definitely going to tell her husband, or you know what I mean? Like,
You can't tell a priest.
can't tell a
I
priest.
guess you could, right?
I wouldn't trust them.
Don't they have a rule?
I mean, who knows? They fucked kids.
Right. They do seem to have some ethical lapses. That'd be kind of cool if she had stepped in and she's like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And he's like, what was your sin? And she's like, well, my first cousin fucked me. I had an abortion and it was adultery. And he'd be like, hey, listen, I fuck kids. It's all good.
I also like the way that she just like, she didn't say I cheated on my husband. She was just like,
I guess technically.
maybe she's not in love with her husband.
No, she's in love with her cousin. I think we established that.
Well, she said he was in love with her.
Oh, man. I wonder if that sex was good. I bet it was. I bet it was so hot.
Of course.
You think?
Right, because it's so forbidden.
So forbidden on so many levels.
How can it not be good?
Well,
You're
listen-
like faking an orgasm with your cousin.
I mean, oh, cousin. Dude, the only part about that whole thing that really is too bad is that she's going to burn in the hellfire of eternal damnation.
No.
That's shitty. Oh man, what a great secret. And listen, we forgive you. We don't think we think it's wild, and we feel grateful that you shared it with us. But fuck it. Whatever. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, and if you're not in love with your husband, you're just going to cheat on him again. Maybe it's time to like
Get the cooler. What if she
Yeah.
goes, what if we got her on the phone and she's like, oh, I can't get divorced. I'm Catholic. Thank you for sharing your secrets, folks. That was wild. We'll have
we
more.
want to take the burden off of you.
We will take the burden off of everyone. You're only as sick as your secrets, so get them off your chest. Give us a call.
213-222-8608. That's 213-222-8608.
And now that Natasha's voiceover audition is done, you can also text that number your secrets. If you prefer us to read it and don't want your voice to be on, well, we can read them for you. You're only as sick as your secrets, so call us, get them off your chest, and we'll play them on the air.
So should we take another call?
Yes, next we'll call Tanya and Jeff from Orange County.
This should be our theme music. It's so good.
I think it's proprietary. That would be a good idea that'd be great.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, it's Natasha Leggero and Moshe Kasher.
Hi.
Hey,
Do you guys always answer the phone together? That's so cute.
congratulations on your baby.
Oh, thank you.
So what is your question? We know you have a 4-month-old.
Well, I was asking that he's 4 months now, and we're tired all the time. I'm just like not in the mood to have sex ever. And poor Jeffrey, I feel so bad for him and I'm just like constantly thinking about the baby and how he is. He's in the other room. Like even when he's asleep, he could wake up and I need to breastfeed and my boobs hurt and everything hurts. So
All right, here's the thing.
never-
I already have answers for you.
No, I'll take this one, Natasha.
Well, no, my OBGYN actually told me, because I only breastfed for 3 months, and he said, as long as you're breastfeeding, you don't have the desire to have sex. And he said it really is bad for relationships to breastfeed.
Oh my God.
That's my doctor's he's like a gay guy who like ended up he has an adopted kid who he adopted from his patient who had she already had 3 kids and she was pregnant and she wanted to abort it, and he's like, well, I'll take it. So he's like a very out there, like definitely on the eccentric side. But he told me it breaks up a lot of marriages, breastfeeding, because women will breastfeed for 2 years and I don't remember the physiological reason, but as long as you're breastfeeding, you're not sexually.
Is that true?
I mean, this is what my OBGYN told me.
Your gay male OBGYN.
I'm just saying, I'm sure we could like look up the scientific reasoning.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that, how long, are you enjoying breastfeeding? I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
No, I'm like gonna quit right now. No, I enjoy it. I do. I think it's nice. Like I'm lucky too. I know a lot of girlfriends that have had horror stories and bloody nipples and no milk and like, so I feel lucky to just keep doing it while I can, or if it's like, starts to get hard or painful now that I'm back at work. But that makes so much sense. And because my doctor too, at like 6 weeks was like, you're good to go. You can have sex. And I was like, what? Are you insane? Like, no, I can't. I physically and mentally. But that makes so much sense now because I was worried it was just like me and your friends don't really talk about it.
No,
and,
so many of my
everybody
friends,
can go back.
every friend I have who has a small baby is not having sex with their husband. The only thing I would say specifically that would make this even worse is if you have something called a family bed, or you're doing like, what's it called? Like co-sleeping, like whatever that is. I mean, I don't even know how women do it. They sleep in the bed with the baby and the husband sleeps on the couch. So it's like, you guys aren't doing that, right?
No.
This is very common, by the way. This is not like a rare thing.
Well, Jeff, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jeff, how difficult is this for you? Because like I know that like Natasha was really worried about me, which is weird because like she had done all the work. But like it sounds like Tanya, like I heard in what you were saying, like you're really like worried about poor Jeff. But like I don't know what your feeling is, Jeff. But for me, I was like so in kind of like awe of what Natasha had done. It wasn't like I was like, what's up with this? When's the pussy train coming? Like, I'm fucking over here. I just been 4 fucking months. Like, I was like really kind of honoring her space.
And also, I had a C-section, so I actually couldn't have sex for like 2.5 months.
Right. So how are you doing, Jeff? Is I guess what I'm asking. Like, are you getting frustrated, or are you kind of like?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I've been putting pressure on Tanya at all. I think I've been supportive.
She's very patient, which is nice. Yeah.
I think she's the one who's very concerned and stuff.
Tanya, don't feel bad.
Monster. Like I'll suck your dick once in a while.
Hey, there you go. I mean, it sounds like you guys got it all figured out.
No, you guys seem like you have a really good relationship. And Tanya, just like know that as soon as you wrap up breastfeeding, it's going to come back, and the desire is going to come back.
Right.
And you guys are going to be like back to normal. And, because Moshe, the same thing happened with us. And I'd say it took about 3 or 4 months. And, but if you choose to breastfeed for 8 months, then, just know that the baby's going to get that.
Right. And know that Jeff is going to cheat at 8 months. And so that's just simple.
Oh, that's really reassuring. Thank you.
No, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Jeff, but I do think like there are these like sort of obvious physiological differences between men and women when it comes to the child rearing process. But then there are these like more intangible ones that feel psychological, like Tanya, how you're talking about how you can't stop thinking about the baby all the time, all day, every second, every day. And
it's annoying, and it's a hard thing to get used to. I'd say 70% of my brain activity at all times is worrying if the baby's okay. And it's like, I can't even remember how to pronounce basic words sometimes. I feel like a fucking idiot. I've been trying to finish a magazine article for 7 months. It sucks.
Yeah, but what I was going to say was if you're a decent, nice guy, and it sounds like Jeff is, and I try to be, your primary reaction to your wife postpartum is one of awe and kind of honor of their process. And you're not sitting around going dude, I'm so horny. What? Not saying
get this dick wet.
Yeah, it's primarily I was just I was happy to wait until Natasha was ready to do what she wanted to do. I wasn't sitting in the other room pounding my fist. I was sitting in the other room pounding my dick into my fist, but you know what I'm saying? I it sounds like Jeff, you're like me, we're here, we want to support you, and we're ready when you are. And so, throw some cabbage on those tits and dry them up, and you guys can get back to boning whenever you're ready.
I know. If anything, this will be good for Jeff to that he wants me to keep breastfeeding. So now this will be motivation to stop.
Is that true though, Jeff? Does that seem accurate what I just said?
Yeah, no, I totally I really don't feel like I'm putting pressure on Tanya. I want her to, when she's comfortable and ready, then we can start doing it again.
And I will share with you what my doctors told me, and everyone is totally free to ask their own doctors what they think. But I asked my OBGYN, the same guy, I said, how long should I breastfeed for? And he said 1 month is fine, which seemed very low to me. And also realizing how eccentric he is, I was like, well, I should probably ask my actual, what do you call the doctor for the baby?
Pediatrician.
The pediatrician. And she said, well, I think 3 months is really good, and the baby will get so much of the benefits.
Yep.
And she did say it's a little overblown, the idea that you have to breastfeed. But that's just what my doctor said. So it was more than 3 months.
I mean, I feel like we were all formula fed too, and we're fine.
Right. I didn't even get formula. I didn't get formula or breast milk. My mom gave me chicken from day one. And look at me, I'm fine. No, and Jeff, you guys sound like a great couple, and you got it figured out. And Tanya, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Your body will tell you when it's time.
And give him a hand job tonight. Why not?
Yeah, give him a damn hand job. And Jeff, honestly, just man to man, in the meantime, don't even worry about it. Right now on your laptop, there are tons of barely legal teens, hot aging Latina MILFs, teen BBWs. I mean, there's a whole world out there for
Moshe,
you to.
this is feeling very specific.
Good luck, you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
I think we kind of helped them.
That was good. I know.
Well, because I feel like people don't have access to information, or you know what? I'm the kind of person, I ask a million questions in every single doctor's appointment. So I think you just have to get really aggressive with and ask people.
No, that's true. But also, I was trying to talk to Jeff because, I thought maybe he misunderstood what I was saying. I wasn't saying Jeff's pressuring his wife to have sex. I was saying almost the opposite. No one tells you how to be a man in a situation when you have kids. There's so many books about how to be a woman and what to expect after pregnancy. But when you're a man, you feel so sort of removed from the process. I wouldn't call it guilt, but it feels close to guilt, where it's this sort of uneasy, what have I done to this person that I love? Her body is all up in upheaval. Her sex life is in upheaval. Her you feel the opposite of hurry up and have sex with me. You feel I want you to have sex. I want you to just be healthy and whole and better. And
Well, that's a very empathetic way of looking at it, Moshe. You
I
just
think-
happen to be
I don't
very
think it's-
evolved.
I don't
think
think
a
it's
lot
about
of
me.
men are just like, oh, I'm horny.
yeah, if they're
I just
idiots.
smoked my cigar, and now the baby's here, and I want to celebrate.
No, I think most guys are more like that. They're more like they. Why would you be with your wife if you didn't love her? Anyway, Jeff, you'll get laid someday. So what do we learn tonight?
I'm not sure, but I think we helped some people.
Good one. We learned that
I learned that you had sex with 400 people.
we learned
which
that I
is
had sex with a few people.
insanity.
And
400? There's like,
does that bother you?
yeah, kind of. I don't know. Whatever.
Cool. Well, we've learned that my relationship isn't going to last. We learned that Wicca and paganism is not a religion to be feared as much as embraced and perhaps cautiously entered into. And we also learned that if you're recently pregnant, remember, suck your husband's dick and put some cabbage on your tits. You'll get to fucking again eventually.
And also remember to email us with any of your relationship questions at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com and give us your phone number so we can give you a call.
Yeah, we can
and
call you
talk
live
to
on the air.
And you can also call us at 213-222-8608. That is my cell phone.
Yeah, you can call Natasha's cell phone and leave your issue that you would like us to call you about and give you our advice and also make fun of you in a way that at certain points might feel like bullying.
Oh, yeah. Send pictures. We will give you a free roast.
Yeah, we'd love to. Natasha,
Yes.
I love you.
Love you too.